Hey guys, Brent Hull Build Show, talking today about a John Staub house. Going to show you one of my top 5 houses in Fort Worth. It's well crafted, well designed, beautiful inside and out. Come on, let me show it to you. Okay guys, so we're standing outside this house, and obviously one of the first things you notice is this beautiful gable end. From what I understand, John Staub was traveling in Europe, found this 17th century English house that he fell in love with, and that was the inspiration for this scalloped entry. It's a Ludowici tile roof, and you'll actually see that some of those tiles are bent and warped. That was actually by design. So this is a 1929 house. These tiles are nearly 100 years old. It's a 200-year roof, if not 300 years. The only thing you have to do is change the underlayment on this thing. Great brickwork, great details. Come on inside. So one of the things that Staub does is he uses a bunch of different styles, historical styles, in a house. And this room would be a Georgian room, right? We've got this hand-carved details. This looks like something right out of London, England. We've got a beautiful fireplace with a mantle and an overmantle. There's a broken pediment in the overmantle. We've got those modillions. We've got the hand-carved details with the leaf and dart and egg and dart. Notice the symmetry too, right? We've got these accesses here this way. Got the doors and windows that are accesses this way. That's actually a china closet. So to get the balance there, they introduced a china closet on the right side of that fireplace, right? So a very symmetrical room, very even room, which is kind of a typical period Georgian room. And then upstairs, there's even a French room. So he's playing with those architectural styles and really creating wonderful spaces. Look at the fireplace tools, how they're held together. These are the original ones from the house. They're kind of on these little hooks, kind of off to the side. And look at this. See this chain pull down thing? This is something we're going to restore. But this is your fireplace screen. It's actually incorporated into the frame, and this will pull down and cover so you don't have to have something in front of it. Great detail, all from the 1920s. One of the unfortunate things is that all the exterior windows were steel, okay, and they changed them out with some new windows, which was unfortunate. But they did keep a few of the original windows here. There's the original window in the stair hall, we'll see in a little bit, but there's also these which were the original doors and windows. Now, I believe these are Criddle windows, okay? So that Criddle was an English company that was building windows and still builds windows because of all the great architectural details inside here. Notice that it locks in 2 places. This is the way steel windows should look if you're going to do these steel windows. I know that there's a lot of steel window companies today, and if you compare their product, right, to these historic products, the amount of character just isn't there anymore. And I just love these for the character they bring to an historic house. We're in this awesome stair hall, right? We've got an oriel window, okay, which is a window that's kind of perched out on the outside of a building, rounded typically like this. We've got these great steel windows. Notice the glass. We've got the purples and yellows. What's that about, right? We've got, historically, when they were making glass, if they didn't have the right blends of sands, the glass would actually come out colored, right? So Staub is hinting at the fact that this glass is really old. Yeah, they even have these integrated screens, right, that pull down, and they need to be oiled a little bit, but those are all integrated in all these windows. Incredible detail. You've got this stair balustrade, which is unbelievable, beautiful. In England, I was at William Chambers building, most beautiful stair hall in the world. It had balustrades just like this. So beautiful. If you want to attain kind of your higher skills, you want to know where the bar is, right, as a metal worker, look at the detail in this stair. That's really top notch. All right, one of the really unique areas of this house is this study, right? This octagonal study, gumwood, right? Beautiful gumwood, typical in the 20s that you'd see a lot of gumwood. This one's a really cozy space, right? A space that you definitely would love to work in. Look at the back of this door, right? All gumwood. Notice the beautiful handles. Notice the key escutcheon cover, right? Great hardware, a great space, this little fireplace and the coal grate. I think I could do a lot of productive work in this space. All right, so now we're in the master suite, okay? Notice the little gentle barrel that we've got in here kind of adds to the drama. Now we're in a French room, right? This is what I was talking about earlier with that Georgian room downstairs, a federal dining room, got a French bedroom, right? Why is it French? Well, these are all French moldings. The way they played with these shapes, the little heart shape and everything else is kind of a typical French room. You got a beautiful mantelpiece. Mantelpiece is also French. The bathroom is crazy, okay? It's this pink tile. And remember, in the 1920s and 30s, bathroom suites, as they moved away from the white bathrooms of the turn of the century, they began to come with a lot of colors. And these colors would be whole suites where you could get black and pink and yellow and green, all these vibrant colors, right, to kind of brighten up the bathroom. One of the great things about old houses, I think, is hardware, okay? Hardware is oftentimes called the jewelry of the room. These are called olive hinges, okay, and it's shaped like an olive. Most of the houses we've worked on have these olive hinges. Look how pretty that hardware is, right? Look how pretty that knob is with that circular rosette detail. And then on this inside, we've even got a key with a lift-off handle and an original key that goes in here that opens and closes this door. Awesome hardware. So we just come down the back stairs. Now, with an important house like this, and as expensive as it was originally, you'd have two stairs. You'd have a main stair, the one we went up with the Oriole, then you'd have a servant stairs, which is what this is. Now we're in a kind of a servant's area, right? This is where the original kitchen was and these original cabinets. Now, how do I know, right? Look at the back panel here. It's a paneled back on this, the paneled side, the bracket detail here. They've changed something. What have they changed? Well, there used to be working hinges here. They've changed them to a European hinge, okay? But I know that these are original cabinets because they're so thick. That's probably 1.5 inch thick cabinet door. They don't make them like that anymore. It's rarely that you have a stained grade kitchen in a house of this period, right? Because kitchens were servant areas. They weren't really meant for show off like they are today. That's one of the balances when you're working on an old house. What do we do with the kitchen, right? Most people are wanting to open the walls up, just like we're gonna try to do in here. We're opening this area up. But having these original details are fun and they look great in a new kitchen. Notice this, the hardware too. It's changed, right? Looks like a Art Deco that's got a black with a white stripe. Awesome detail. Now look at this. This is our basement, linoleum steps. I got two things to show you down there. It's really awesome. 1929 when this is built, right? Still Prohibition era, right? What do we have here? We have an awesome safe, right? We also have a little hole here that people can look out of. I've seen enough houses with Prohibition safes and Prohibition things going on. I suspect that's what this was, right? Something where they could lock up, they could keep their liquor safe, where even though it wasn't legal, but we've got an original historic safe in this space. Awesome. In great basements like this, right, you'd have these mechanical spaces. This is where you have a back door where the help would have come in. But look at this water system, right? And they could have cut off water to each, hot and cold to each different bathroom in the house. Kind of a cool mechanical system, part of how they used to build houses at this time. The other cool thing they used to do was incinerate their trash. Now, I've seen about 10 of these in Fort Worth as I've done different things. This is called a kernerator, okay? Basically, it enables you to burn your trash. Remember, the kitchen was a servant's area, so they would have another door exactly like this in the kitchen on this same flue. And then this arm would have been to take your grates and get the ashes to fall down into your ash pit, which is that last piece, and then you could clean it out later. So look at this great detail, right? The Murphy Door Bed Company. The Murphy Bed was a company, right, that made beds that fall out of the walls. They also made other things like this ironing board, right? That would have folded up into the wall. It's a great cast iron detail in here, this Murphy, the way it closes in here. I love details like this that remind us of the past, right? They're nostalgic, they're fun, they're still working. Awesome stuff. I've got a great library at the office and I collect books like this, the Home Builders Catalog. This is 1928, okay? They made them 28, 29, and 30. You probably know why the 30 was the last one because of the Great Depression. But they would put the name of a lumber yard on top of this. And inside here, right, this house is built in 29. This is 28. look what I see, right? The kernerator, right? There is exactly what we're talking about. There's a little girl throwing the trash into the kernerator and it goes down and gets burned up. Garbage and waste disposal without leaving the kitchen, right? A modern convenience. Good stuff. I also found an ad for the Murphy bed in here. And there's Murphy, In a Door Bed Company, right? Where they have the beds folding out of the walls. All the details in this house came from books like this. So if you're running around your house and you can't figure out where some of these details come from, find books like this and you can research, become this sleuth, figuring out where these old details came from. Okay, so we're standing on the back of this house, right? And you can start to see the expanse of this property. You actually have a laundry area out here. There's a guest quarters and a living quarters with 3-car garage. Remember, the garage is, probably 100 yards past the house. It was a second quarters, right? You look and see this great detail in this house. Look at that chimney, right? That is a beautiful, Edwardian chimney, this beautiful brickwork, this beautiful detailing. Great details, guys, that all should help us learn how to build better. Few things we can learn from this, okay? First of all, there's great detail in historic houses, right? Details that you can really learn from. Again, raising the bar as far as the quality, the hardware, all these details inside which make this house wonderful, we can learn from and become better builders. Now, the other thing is you need to start traveling. That parapet end, okay, came from an English house that he saw when he was over there in the late 20s, and that's the reason we have this Baroque scalloped, beautiful gable end on this house, is because he was traveling. Take a sketchbook, guys. You will learn, right? When you take your pencil and start drawing like this, it goes into your brain and it's hard to forget those details once you've drawn them out by hand. So I love historic houses, right? I love looking at these things, especially good ones like this one, because they teach us so much. They remind us of how we used to build and how we can build better. 1929 John Staub house, a fantastic house from this period. We're going to do a restoration on this thing. Should take a year or so. You can follow it here in the build show. First thing we're going to do is clear out a lot of this landscaping, which is overgrown, okay? We're going to respect the history and the architecture of this house. When we do our work, you're going to be able to follow our process as far as how we do things, how we craft things. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Hull Millwork, Hull Homes. Sign up for the newsletter. I'm Brent Hull. Thanks for watching.